A new hamster in the treadmill. Apparently, we need that. Jack, thanks very much. I think Jack's offering to be the hamster in the wheel.
I don't think the hamster survived the crash of the Enterprise D, if I'm honest.
Wait! I have to press record and everything.
I'm already recording.
I know, but I haven't pressed the record on the backup yet and then introduced or anything like that. Jesus Christ. Give me a bloody heart attack. Right. You bastards ready?
Yeah, I might go.
That's good enough. Hello everyone, welcome to Shonky Lab. Yes, we're back again. I'm Elton, and this week I'm joined by Mr. Lee Medcoff.
Woohoo, hello.
And Mr. Andy Plastides.
I will end you, McManus. You will beg for mercy by the time I am finished with you. You will rue the day that you brought that up. Start ruing. Ruing.
I am ruing away.
Good.
Oh, what an eccentric performance.
We're here all night.
Yeah.
How are you, chaps? We're here to talk about spaceships and stuff.
We are.
I thought we were talking about stuff we got on the trains. I've got no notes in front of me about spaceships. Oh, God.
But you got a massive list of what you've eaten on the train.
Well, yeah. I did my research sort of thing, you know. I spent hours.
Yeah.
I can't maintain that fiction.
I'm fine. First off, yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
And did actually on the train on the way down tonight, I actually sat and thought, you know what, I better make.
Actually ate something just so you had something to talk about.
I ate a bag of crisps, and then I thought that's me covered.
It's dedication, that is.
That's homework.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah.
No, I made a list. I made a list of the things that I think are at least worthy of a conversation.
Tuesday, I had a sausage roll, and on Wednesday, I had some prawn cocktail crisps.
Yeah. But not cheese and onion, because that's antisocial. Anyway.
Anyway, yes. So I think I better introduce this again. Not straight again, but you know, I think I know what I mean. Yes, we're here to talk about spaceships and what have you eaten on a train? Or what have you seen other people eat on a train, maybe? Are you that person that eats the pickled onions on the train? Are you the person that has the egg sandwich on the train? You get. I hate you. Yeah, we're going live on Mixlr at the moment, which is mixlr.com/Rogue2Media. Yep. And you can join in on the chat room, which we have here. And you can also call us in and talk about either spaceships or what have you eaten on a train. Oh, this is so exciting. Yes, if you want to call in on Skype, it's Elton McManus, all one word. And I will join you once you're connected. Then we'll wait for a little space to appear, and then we'll carry on.
Yeah.
So
I can see on Mixlr on the chat. I can see Brian Legate, and I can see Jack Woodgate and Chris Johnson and Doreen's out there, and yeah. So
that bloody Lee Medcalf there again. I mean, he's always trouble. He is.
That also Andy Plastic Knees is on there as well.
Tell me about it. You know, he's a twat.
Anyway, so I'm going to be chatting as well on there.
No, you go for it. It. I'm terrible at that. Even though I love the idea of it, I'm still terrible at it.
I'm like Uhura on the Enterprise. I'm just sitting in the background with a thing sticking out my ear and conversing with everyone.
Look, for the last time, Lee, you are not wearing your short dress on the casts, okay? Look, I'm not having it. That's the line right there.
You say that, but you got no way of stopping me, and I'm in my special pants.
As long as it's not your bloody onesie again.
Yeah.
Skin tight onesie.
Skin tight onesie. Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry, derailing it, Elton.
No, that's fine.
We're losing people from the chat rapidly.
We just gained Jim. We gained a Jim.
Nice.
A wild Jim Moon has appeared.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right. I'm going to get this back on the tracks, you bastards. We're here, as we all know, talk about spaceships. You guys do a spaceships. Would you call it a spaceships podcast, or would you call it a spacecraft talky thingamajiggy? Or how would you describe it? What that show that you do with the Rev Org and stuff?
I'd call it some sort of war crime, to be honest.
Yeah. We do a podcast called Space Doc Jury, and essentially it's like a cross between Top Trumps and Top Gear, but with spaceships
and less misogyny,
and racism. But basically, it is just like it's an extension of the conversation that the three of us tend to have when we're in a pub.
Yes.
Oh, and I've seen them conversations.
Yeah.
You've partaken in those conversations, sir.
Yeah. And normally what happens is we usually end up clearing the pub because everyone just kind of slowly moves away from us. So we thought, well, we've got that power. Surely there must be other people out there who would like to join in those kind of conversations.
We thought we'd save mankind by driving people off the internet. We thought, people need to get outside, fresh air, talk to each other. So we thought we'd put a podcast out which would force people to run away from technology.
Yeah. Though Chris Johnson has just noted on Mixler chat that he'd call it a pissed up fight that we'd have normally every week.
It is, just without the punching.
Oh, you say that?
Yeah, you say
you don't hear the bits that get cut out.
But yeah, so our cast is basically doing spaceships from film, TV, books, video games,
comics,
you name it, and we put them up.
If the Orion actually makes it to Mars, we'll also have a real one we can do at that point.
Well, yeah. So, but that kind of assumes that we'll be doing the podcast in like 10 years' time, which is.
And that assumes it's going to be ready in 10 years. So yeah, there's a lot of assumptions to be made there.
Somewhat unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a daunting prospect, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's bad enough trying to keep the Black Dog going for 10 years. I don't think I can do that with Space Dog, to be honest.
There is a pension with the Black Dog, isn't there?
There's pensioners.
Oh, pensioners. That's I read it wrong. Nuts.
That's just
most of them for Mr. Diamond, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's Hyreme.
Yeah.
So where can people find Space Doc Jury?
They can find it on Geek Planet Online, spacedoc.geekplanetonline.com, and on iTunes. And
Book of Face.
And the Book of Face, yeah, facebook.com/groups/spacedocjury, and then also on Twitter, which I've mistakenly got back into because Twitter's just like, ugh.
You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy?
I wasn't going to go there, but actually, yes. There you go. So, Jack Woodgate apparently has a picture of one of our recording sessions, which I think is probably just going to be a load of people punching each other up. But
I thought it was going to be the dogs are playing poker around the table. Well, let's see which way he goes with this.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Elton. Carry on.
That's fine. So, how did this cast? Well, you've already said that it's just normally you guys talking in a pub, getting rather drunk and shouting at each other, saying, "No, this is better. No, this is better." But, how did that actually come about and then join into, and then who said, "Oh, okay, right, how about we turn this into something that people, we could inflict on people and, they might actually listen."
Inflict people. I like that. Yeah, it was it me? Or was
it goes back. So before there was Space Doc Jury, I had an idea which I spoke to Lee about, because there's certain things in a couple of science fiction films, specifically Galactica and Generations, that really piss me off, where they do something really stupid for the sake of the plot. And I said to Lee, I want to do a podcast where I can rant about things like the Pegasus getting blown up, because that made no sense at all. And then Lee went off. We came up with some ideas, and then Lee went off later on. And he goes, "Why don't we simplify it a little bit?" And he came back a few months later, and then all of a sudden it was just like, "How about we do about spaceships?"
Yeah.
And that was it in a nutshell.
We had a little trial run where at someone's birthday party, we were all sitting in the Imperial, and there was just us three sitting on one end of the table, and it just got into this. Well, what Enterprise would you pick? Just threw it out there, and all three of us came back with a different conversation, and then a different one, and then
we had to prove why the other person was wrong.
Yeah,
because they were wrong.
because they were wrong. Yeah. And it was just at that point when it turned into a massive argument, I just thought, that's a podcast right there.
Leah woke in the intensive care sometime later with a thought, but wait.
with a plastic Enterprise sticking out my arse, and then I thought, there you go, we've got a winning formula.
Yeah, because I have to admit, I can't think of 3 better people to talk about spaceships, because I listen to you guys and I think, I don't think I can join in on this. All I'd do, I'd be standing around in the conversation like I normally do when I've joined in on these conversations, and just stand there with my pint in my hand, nod, yeah, I'm right, and then occasionally throw in a grenade of utter bullshit that just riles people up.
Yeah. The last time we threw a grenade into the cast, me and Lee very nearly didn't talk again for a week after that. So
that was one of those kind of geek rage moments. But Brian Legate says your conversational style of throwing in a grenade is pretty much like being on the Black Dog then, Elton.
Yeah, I suppose it is, really. I just can't help myself. It's pretty much me at meetings as well. So, don't ever work with me.
Just throw a cat amongst the pigeons and just walk out the door with a screaming behind you.
It's a bit like Ace Rimmer, isn't it? You know, you've just jumped out of a plane fighting a crocodile, and you managed to get the girl somehow.
Yep.
So, what happened?
Exactly. There's normally just a grenade that's been thrown in and a cloud of Elton-shaped dust where I used to be, and then me just disappearing off into the distance.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
so,
I mean... Yeah, sorry.
Go on. No, please do.
All I was going to say was, we have come to blows over a couple of things, but yeah, I mean, the thing with it is, it's pretty much like anything. You know, it's like films, like TV, like comics, cars, anything. If you're not really into it, you can sometimes listen to it and just go, well, okay, fine. You know, it's interesting to listen to someone talking about it, but if you're not vested into it, you can still just sit there and listen to it and just listen to 3 grumpy old bastards arguing, basically.
I resent the use of the term old.
Bastard.
So,
cool.
How are we going to play this? You have a rule of your spacecrafts have to be interplanetary.
Yes. We have many rules, but that is one of them, yes.
Yes, that is one of the many, many rules.
We often make them up as we go along, in fact, and occasionally disregard them. It's not been terribly consistent, if I'm honest.
But here, in the Shonky Lab, there are no rules.
Okay.
There are no rules.
So what you're saying is the first rule of Shonky Lab is you don't talk about Shonky Lab.
That is not a rule, because that does not exist.
Okay. I was just making sure.
No, we are here just to talk utter guff about spaceships. Ones you love, ones you hate, ones you'd like to be on, ones with the best carpet.
That's easy. That's the Enterprise D. Although we did have a discussion. I don't think we want to be on the bridge after Worf's had a curry, because there's a toilet just around the corner, and we're pretty sure that's what the emergency turbo lift to the battle bridge is for. You know, if you see him head to the toilet, we're out.
I can already hear the shutters coming down on Elton on that conversation. It's like a loud clang.
Yeah. That's what I don't get. Let's hit Star Trek first.
Okay.
Why not? Because I have no frame of reference. I know the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
See, that's where I was going to go straight after that. There are a few, aren't there?
Well, that's part of the problem. I mean, technically, if you're just going by what's on the screen, there's 5, but possibly 6. And then if you really want to stretch it, possibly 7. And in fact, if you want to go way out there and look at all the books and comics and video games and everything else, there's an Enterprise Infinity that kind of gives you an idea of where you're going.
They got to 26 and then thought, shit, what now?
Yeah.
Wow. 26.
They ran out of letters. Yeah.
Flipping hell, man.
Yeah. Seriously, the Enterprise is kind of right on the edge of where we can have a conversation about spaceships, because it suddenly gets a bit out of control very, very quickly.
Yeah. Have you ever spoken about I'm sure you have, the Enterprise versus Falcon? That's bound to have come up, and I'm sure you guys have probably turned around and said, we're never having that conversation.
Well, we've already had a similar conversation, which was the Defiant versus the White Star, which in the circles we inhabit is just as tenacious.
Yeah.
But we probably wouldn't do that because we try to keep our cast down to about an hour and a half in length, just for the sake of the editor and his sanity. Which is me. And as you can see, the sanity plea is not working here. But when we come to talking about, say, the Millennium Falcon, we could talk about that for well over an hour and a half, just because there's so much to talk about.
Oh, God, yes.
So we'd probably end up giving the Falcon its own episode, where we just would talk about the Falcon, how it came to be, and all that sort of thing, and so forth. But that being said, it's the whole premise of the cast is taking ships which really have nothing to do with each other. I mean, when we were planning out our original idea for what ships to do for episodes, I came up with wanting to do the Battlestar Pegasus for one of them. Peter came up with, I think it was the USS Defiant, and then Lee turned around and says, the Shuttle Tidarium from Star Wars. And we're like, how on earth is that going to work?
Yeah, the Shuttle Tidarium. I mean, again, it was just me pulling bloody spaceships out the top of my head, and that's when we had to start making up rules of what could be included and what couldn't. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
We've had a couple of, because again, spoiler alert, everyone. We kind of record a couple of weeks in advance.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple of episodes recently where it's not exactly been fair and balanced in so much as it's not all three ships scoring around the same. It's like two ships scoring around the same, and then another one really not.
Yeah. See, that's the thing we always have a problem with, which is it's kind of how do you equate one ship against another? Because, like as you say, Enterprise versus Millennium Falcon, you can do some things, but then when it comes to things like laser beams, how do you work out what one's more powerful than the other, and what ones can get through ships and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's quite hard.
The laws of physics aren't consistent across the shows. So in Star Trek, for example, they're going as fast as is physically possible in that universe. Whereas in Babylon 5, they're going faster because the laws of physics in that universe say you can go faster. So
God.
we have no frame of reference.
No.
Do they not have a Bible or anything like that they can read from?
Yes, but like most religious texts, everyone has their own Bible, and everyone believes that their Bible is the right one.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, for example, there was an episode we did with Babylon 5 ship, the White Star, and that was quite heated because we were talking about speed. And, oh, man.
Yeah,
we had this whole thing of, well, if you've got a White Star actually has written down black and white that it can cross the entire galaxy in 8 weeks.
Right.
So we know how fast that is. But the ship it was up against was from Battlestar Galactica, and when you see them move, they just disappear and then reappear instantaneously, and we have no idea how far they've travelled, where they've gone. But is it technically going faster, or is it just disappearing and reappearing somewhere? That's not actually speed. That's just disappearing and reappearing.
It's going from one location to another at that speed.
No, yeah. I'm glad this has come up already. Because I was shouting at my MP3 player when this was going on. With the Battlestar stuff, it kind of just flashes out in a piff paff puff kind of way.
Yeah.
And then piff paff puff, it's somewhere else.
Yes.
And that's their jump. It's not actually travelling, is it?
It has, because it was here, and now it's there.
It has, but it hasn't. To travel, surely you need to cover that distance.
Well, it's just your perception of it, though. Obviously it's going faster than the speed of light. So the light from the ship is no longer there because the ship's travelled faster than light.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll stop now because we actually heavily revised the rules after that episode to try and address these issues.
Yeah. On the chat, by the way, Doreen and Brian Legate have turned around and having a conversation about, do all the shows agree how big the actual galaxy is that these guys are playing in?
They generally agree on the size of the Milky Way galaxy because the Milky Way is the size the Milky Way is. But things like Star Wars take place in a different galaxy a long time ago, far, far away. and Battlestar is in the Milky Way galaxy as well. Spoiler alert. But it's they're generally consistent on the size of a galaxy, but some shows don't take place in this galaxy, and they don't tell us any information about that really.
Right. Okay. So, favourites. Do we have ones that we want to hold on to our heart and never let go? What are your favourite ships out there that have turned up in movies or on the screen or in comics or anything like that?
There is one that we both share, and unfortunately I was put in a position of having to play devil's advocate against it.
The devil doesn't need an advocate. He's the devil.
Yeah, well, someone thought it up, and I was it. Yeah.
But yes, we're both huge fans of the Mass Effect series of games.
Yeah.
Huge fans. And in Mass Effect, there's a couple of ships called the Normandy. We're both huge fans of the Normandy, although I prefer the first one more than the second one, and Lee's much more a fan of the second one over the first one. But we both just love the Normandy.
Yeah, as a ship design, basically. Though my one's bigger, faster, and has more weapons. But we'll not get into that.
What is this? You fire shots and then say, I'm not getting into it. You fire shots fired, my friend.
Look, dude. I just wanted to do that, stir the pot. I wanted to do an Elton. I was trying an Elton thing.
Were you trying an Elton thing? Yeah, the trick is you've got to be unassuming and charming enough to get away with that. While the Emperor there cackles away in the background. Good. Let the head flow through you.
Okay, let's move away from Mass Effect very quickly. I tell you what, I'm going to give you one of my favourite ships. I love the exterior of, even the interior of. That is the Prometheus. Hello.
No. I'll tell you what. I have many problems with that film. Many problems with that film. But one thing I won't fault is the production design and the way the Prometheus looks on the inside, and to a certain extent the outside. I mean, I much prefer the Nostromo, but the Prometheus is cool. The bridge is cool.
Yeah, I like the bridge.
I don't quite get why it's got a piano on board.
It's got a pool table. It's got Christmas trees.
Jack Woodgate literally just choked on his vape pen after you mentioned the Prometheus.
I think that's just a normal thing to happen, isn't it? Someone says Prometheus and like, oh dear. So, not fans then?
Well, actually, you say that. I mean, I do like the Prometheus as a design. I think all the designs inside the film itself are good. Whether or not the script, the acting, the direction, or any of that crap has any bearing on it is neither here nor there. I thought the whole thing with the Prometheus and the way it was laid out and the way it looked was very, very swish. And it's just a shame that it was related to aliens, so therefore you had the Nostromo to sort of weigh it off against, and then you kind of go, well, actually, okay, now that looks science fiction, whereas the Nostromo looks like actually someone built that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the Prometheus. The only thing
it's a beautiful CG model as well. I mean, the amount of detail into that, especially when it lands.
Yeah. Well, it's just well thought out. And the only thing I don't like about it is that it's got a medical lab with one medical pod that's programmed for a male human. And it's like, right. You do know there's females on that ship, right?
Yeah, but basically anything which wasn't directly related to the stupidness of the plot is fine.
Yeah, you kind of get into the intricacies of the actual film.
You're entering Lindelof land, where it becomes a huge amount of shut up. That's why.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But let us not dwell on Prometheus for certain designs aside. It is shit.
So, what do you like about it, Elton?
I like the way it lands. I like the sweeping shot as it's entering the atmosphere. I think it looks glorious. The actual struts are the actual engines, but then they turn into the feet as well. I thought that was quite nice and well done. It does the problem I have with it, and I think the problem with everyone is it's got all these lovely, beautiful see-through computer screens, and then you jump forward in their universe in time to the Nostromo, and they've got CRT screens. Yeah. And that's a massive, massive shout, where really they they could have thought about it a little bit more and gone, well, hang on, in this, no, they haven't got the CRT because they should have CRTs on there. That's my only problem with it. I like the bridge. I like the way that Idris Elba stands on the bridge and he's got all this view in front of him. He's at the very nose of this thing.
It's actually, when they, again, spoiler alert, everyone out here, when they take off and crash into the derelict, that's a really cool shot from the bridge. You really get a sense of the way it moves and shakes as it's lifting off there. That's all very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, and this is something that tangentially connects to one of the reasons why I really don't like the idea of them redoing Blade Runner. I like that 80s sense of the future you get in Alien and in Blade Runner and all that, where it is CRT and, you know, push button phones and so forth. I really wish they would have done that in Prometheus, giving you an 80s sense of the future.
Yep.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, big buttons that you have to actually press and they go clunk.
Yeah. But instead we had a holodeck.
Yeah.
Inside the cargo bay. Oh, no, don't. No, sorry.
Shut up, that's why.
Oh, God.
We're not talking about the film, guys.
Yeah, I know, but you
can't get away from it, but that's the problem.
That is it. The problem is, it's just as soon part of the thing which I like about spaceships in general is the spaceship also informs the story, and so if the story's rubbish, then the spaceship is by turns made to do things that are rubbish. So even if you sit there and go, "Oh, that's a really good design," 5 minutes later you're going, "Why have we got a male med bay? Why have, you know?" And as Chris Johnson said on the chat just a second ago, the first ever sexist med bay, you know, but somehow it's also able to perform abortions. So what the fuck's happening in the
Shut up, that's why. Shut up, that's why.
Exactly. And that's all part of the art design, which is informed by the story. So you can't get away from it to a certain degree.
Yeah. But it did have nice pods in it, you know, the sleeper pods, and I thought that was well designed. You've got a basketball court as well.
And a really good home cinema system.
And a bicycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Who thought of bringing a bicycle? Oh, hang on, we're going to go to a foreign planet where we don't know what it's like. It might be kind of rocky. I know. Let's bring a road bike.
Yeah, bring your BMX. Bring your grifter. Yeah, yes. Bring us one of your mountain bikes. You know, everyone turns up in lycra and funny hats.
That's the thing. That I don't even think he's on a mountain bike, though, is he?
No, he's not. He's on one of those.
Like a chopper or something like that, isn't it?
It's a Boris bike.
Is it? Oh yeah, well.
Oh jeez.
Oh yeah, it's a chopper with a little gear stick in the middle that you would always knock your nuts on when you.
Well, I'll tell you this bit. Those bits when he's on his own a bit are probably the best bits of the whole film.
Yeah, that's
the silence of it.
Yeah, it was just him interacting with the ship on his own. It's the best bits of the entire film.
Yeah, I still think my thoughts of that movie still hold true. I can hear someone grinding their teeth about them, though.
No, don't start.
Can I just tangent, because we mentioned Damon Lindelof and some of the stupid stuff off of the Prometheus because of stuff he's written. Let us take a couple of steps over to Star Trek Into Darkness with another ship which is rather stupid because of shit he's come up with, and that's the USS Vengeance, which has cargo bays which are like a mile long, but the door to get in is just big enough for a person to get through. Why?
Yeah.
Is that the one with, is it nacelles? Am I saying that right?
Yes, nacelles, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Is that the one where they're stacked on top of each other? Either side of the saucer dish?
It's the Vengeance is the one with a giant hole in the middle of it, which, hang about, let me find you a picture.
Looking for it right this second.
Okay.
It's basically the Enterprise, but designed by someone who has lost his
about 12 years old, and you know.
Yeah, you know the curved designs, you know, your little curve, your golden arches and all that sort of thing, you know. Yeah. Imagine trying to make an Enterprise, but someone's lost it, and they're sort of trying to do curves, but they're making a bit of a cock up of it.
As Jack Woodgate points out in the chat, what an obvious name for an evil ship, though. Might as well call it the USS Fuckbastard.
Yeah,
USS Vengeance, it doesn't quite speak to the Federation ideal, if I'm honest.
Again, it's that whole thing of there. By the way, I posted it in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
It's just a fucking horrible design.
But yeah, I mean, this is a ship, and forgive me for getting a bit nerdy here, Elton, but you knew what this was.
Yeah, of course.
This is a ship that's supposedly from the era of Kirk, which is 80 years before the Next Generation. This ship's supposed to be twice as big as the USS Hilton Hotel, the Enterprise D, 75 years earlier. For no reason, it has a crew of about 5 people on board.
Okay.
It's called the USS Vengeance, which just isn't a Federation ideal, and it's got cargo bays with tiny doors, but are like miles long. This is an instance where the story has forced their hand when it comes to making the model and the sets and all this, but it's stupid.
And it has got a big hole in it, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah. Why? I mean, if you want to get anywhere from the bridge, you've got to go all the way back. It's just stupid.
Yeah, that's what I don't get about all these ships. When I was a kid, I used to draw ships, and I'd always want a direct access because you want to get from anywhere to anywhere in the quickest possible time. On that, if you've got is that the bridge right in the middle of the hole?
That's the bridge in the middle, yeah.
Okay, so what happens if you've got a very important appointment just over the other side? You can see where you need to go, but you need to walk. How big would it? Maybe miles long.
It is miles long. That's the thing. This ship
is meant to be about 2 miles long, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you got a mile distance to get to your meeting, which is just over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see it. I can almost touch the room.
I think the words batshit crazy, and we had no idea what we were doing.
Shut up, that's why.
Yeah, shut up, that's why.
Yeah, there's a lot of that there. But yes, it's a pantering. And this is another instance where they haven't really... they've got this script, which makes no sense anyway, and they've had to build a ship which doesn't work. Whereas when you look at some of the stuff, especially in early Babylon 5, and, with the new Battlestar Galactica, they've thought about why do things work in a certain way. And so the ships, for me, work a lot better because they make sense. The Nostromo, again, a perfect example. It's a ship that has a sense of realism. It makes sense because this is here for reasons. It makes sense why this is here. Yeah. Whereas that is just a case of shut up. They have to fly in through this tiny hole into this long cargo bay because it'll look cool. It's a bit like having the engineering section of the Enterprise be a brewery because shut up. That's why.
Yeah. That's always the problem with all these spaceships. One of the things we always sort of assess it on is realization, and it's like, does this thing actually make sense?
Yeah.
And it's just like, because a lot of the time, especially with something like the USS Vengeance, for example, it's just like, it's a ship in the universe which is supposed to be all hopeful and shiny and lovely, and this is a big black spaceship with lots of angles and a big hole in it, and it's so big that I'm going to post you a picture. You've got to see how big this stupid thing is. It's like, as Jack said on the chat, it should just be called War Bastard and just be done with it. And it's like, no, that's just stupid. It's just fucking stupid.
It's stupid. Stupidness. Stupid.
It's absolutely the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen.
Well, while you're posting that picture, you did talk about the name, the USS Vengeance?
Vengeance, yes.
Okay, that brings me to something else that's always bugged me. Darth Vader's ship.
Yeah.
The Executor.
I've always called it the Executor. Because I thought the Executor would be a stupid name to call your ship because you'd know, that's the bad one.
The fact that this is a 17-mile long giant fuck-off triangle in space isn't enough of a giveaway.
This is true.
And plus, you've got that music playing everywhere it turns up.
Yeah. Oh, that'd just drive you bonkers, wouldn't it?
I mean, there's many things you can say about Darth Vader. Subtlety is not one of them. He's not the kind of person to turn up to a party quietly and just kind of sneaking out the back. No. He makes an entrance.
He'd lift people up as he walked in, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely one of these guys who sort of says, "Yo, bitches, I'm here at the party," and then it just makes everyone aware he's coming. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me he's got a bloody great spaceship called, the Executor or the.
I mean, again, what do they call their evil space station? The Death Star. I mean, you want subtlety here. It reminds me of that Mitchell and Webb sketch where the Nazis are sitting around the campfire and go, "Are we the bad guys? We've got skulls on our uniforms." It's like that.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Should have flowers.
Do you think we may be on the wrong side?
No, we must be good. But we've got skulls on our uniform. The good guys never have skulls. So yeah, let's face it, they're walking around in jackboots half the time as well. I mean, okay, they've got nice coloured rectangles of plastic for insignias and all this instead of skulls, but again, the big bad guy's walking around in black leather with a giant shiny helmet on his head.
Yeah, they need someone to style them out, don't they?
Yeah. Apparently, Brian's saying that the executor turns up, windows rolled down, and stereo on full blast.
Well, let's face it. If I had a theme song as cool as that, I'd do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I get that episode's gone out, hasn't it? Yeah. We largely gave that such a cool score because of that theme song. Because this ship actually does fuck all in the films. If you watch Empire to see what the executor does, it does nothing in Empire apart from turn up. It fails to catch the Millennium Falcon in its tractor beam when it's flying next to it. And then in Return of the Jedi, it kind of gets hit by a fighter and crashes spectacularly. It swan dives, that's it.
All it does, it looms.
Yes, it looms impressively.
It's like meeting Russell Brand in an elevator. He'll just stare at you and then loom over you.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a cool soundtrack. So.
No, he doesn't, no. But you'd be stood there going, oh my God, it's Russell. Oh my God, get me out of this lift.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that quite works. I mean, if Russell Brand's standing in a lift trying to loom over me, I'd be wondering quite whether or not I should have drunk that drink he offered me earlier.
To be fair, I'd be trying to climb up the top to cut the cable.
Anyway,
yes, that's why I believe it's called the Executor, because the Executor it doesn't quite instill the same sense of dread I think he was going for.
I think it does.
Yeah,
I personally call it the Executor.
Yeah, but the Executor just makes it sound like a
solicitor, isn't it? You know,
I was going to say, have you checked out your will? Do you know that all of your possessions are going to go to your family and loved ones?
You may as well call it the file clerk.
Yeah. Yeah, the USS real estate agent. Yes. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Okay, so I've given you one of mine. Go on then, Andy, give us one of yours.
One of my what? Favourite ships?
Yeah.
Well, as you probably sensed a bit of a trend on the cast, I like my bricks. I like big, imposing, grey behemoth battleships, big or fuck off bastards. And one of my favourites is probably the Omega Destroyer from Babylon 5, because the first time you see that at the beginning of season 2, up until that point, you've not really gotten a sense of any of the human ships, and you finally see something, and it's got this huge rotating section, and it makes sense. It's like that's why they can walk around there, because they have artificial gravity, and that's cool. So Omega. Yes, I like the Omega class destroyer.
Okay, right, I'm googling this.
To Google, man looks up thing on internet.
riveting for all our listeners out there.
Omega class destroyer. There we go. I will find it very soon.
I have found a picture here.
I have to say to Google, because it's kind of the Shunky Labs catchphrase. So yes, it's got big that turn.
Yeah,
it's like
it's got big guns. It's got this big rotating section, which is well, you could say homage or deliberate rip-off, depending on how you feel, to the Leonov from 2010. They all have cool names as well. They're named after Greek gods for the most part, or people from Greek fiction. So that kind of appeals to this setting. Plus, again, when Babylon 5 came out, I was kind of just starting to get into well, not when it came out, after it came out, but I was getting into CGI work and everything like this. So this was something that was, when I was learning how to do CGI and everything, was at the forefront of that. So I had a lot of interest in it there. So yeah, that's one of the ships that I like. I've always liked the Omegas, the Agamemnon.
It's like a sonic screwdriver.
That's probably the most polite thing I think anyone said about it when we did it on the cast.
Yeah, it did to set the tone for the discourse to follow.
Exactly. I mean, it's a Minecraft.
At least it's not a plucked pelican.
Well, no, but that's not one of my favourite ships. It's just one I picked.
Gentlemen.
Right, that's it. Take my toys. I'm going home.
Toys are out of a pram. But I mean, there's that, and there's also the Battlestar Pegasus, which you did recently, and I believe you know that one, don't you, Elton?
Yes, I do.
You know the Pegasus. So yes, the Pegasus is another ship I love for much of the same reasons. It's a big, imposing grey behemoth, which takes no shit. It turns up and goes, "Fuck you all, bye," and blows people to shit. Unless you got Leodama in charge because he's an idiot.
Yes,
I remember watching that. And you have a scene where the Battlestar is pretty much getting bum rushed against some fence railings.
Mm-hmm.
And it all goes quiet, zooms out, and then all you hear is and it kind of looms like Russell Brand coming into her face.
Looms like Russell Brand.
No. The Pegasus charges in going, "Come on, you bastards!"
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's worth mentioning that on Mixler, we've got someone called LSG Media.
Oh, yes.
Who's basically turned up and said Klingon Bird of Prey is still a classic. Jack Woodgate would like you to go and look up the Hentai Omega class.
In the immortal words of Admiral Akbar, "It's a trap!"
Yeah. And then Doreen basically comes in and says that white stars are lovely and not plucked birds, which I heartily agree with.
Right.
So there you go.
I'm taking one for the team for that Omega class thing. Okay.
Oh, you're going to look up Hentai Omega class? Oh, Elton.
Elton. No. Okay, right. Yeah, I ain't going there. There's no images up, but I've just seen some. No.
Nope. File that away for later. But...
yeah, that's private. That's private time. That's private. Yeah.
That's Space.Dewey After Dark.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've just.
Oh, you did it too.
Yeah, I did. That's never going away from my. That's never going away from my browser history.
No, we're on a list now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, David Cameron's going to come around and wag his finger at us now, as long as it's just.
That's all he wags at you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for my ship, my favorite ship, it's got to be. Well, there's a couple. I like Trek ships, but I always find them a bit stylistically a bit tedious. So I do like them, and there are ones that I will sort of go into bat for, but I don't really like them per se. I tend to like things which are a bit more, shall we say, a bit more gritty, or go the complete other way and are super shiny. So my ultimate favorite is the Nostromo, which I love because I think it's a ship that is so well done, and for me it's an old childhood thing of sort of seeing Alien at a very young age, and sort of like that was like you go from something crap like sort of Buck Rogers, which everything looks like it's made out of cardboard. Suddenly, don't start. Suddenly,
at least not playing the music again.
Oh, I'm not doing that music, no. And everything looks cheap and nasty, and then you see this thing, and it's like, actually, this is what I expect a spaceship to be. Mm-hmm. It's big, chunky, dark. It's not built for everyone's comfort. It's like, there's big old seats that are all worn down.
It's more like a freighter than a futuristic spaceship, which is what it is at that point. It's this lived-in universe aesthetic, which is fantastic.
It's a tugboat, isn't it?
Yeah. But essentially, it is what I was saying before about the Prometheus. It's tied into the story. It's telling a story without actually having to say anything. You get a sense of what the universe is like by seeing the fact, there's duct tape on the seats, and, dangly dice hanging over someone's console, and, there's fag packets strewn all over the place.
Well, the first 5 minutes of that movie, there's not a word said, is there?
No, exactly.
But you get a story from just the pictures of that ship.
Exactly. Yeah,
and that's one of the great things about early Ridley Scott, and I suppose to The Martian to an extent. But he can tell a story visually just by showing you what's in the set, because he's thought about it. He says, what would a crew of people on his ship for ages do with their time? And that's why you have the mess hall. It's like this place where they'd all come together to eat and everything. That's why there's a lot of life in there, whereas the bridges are much more dark and Unitarian sort of space.
Yeah.
And it's dark also because you're, much like sitting in a car. If you're sitting in a car, you don't want the interior lights all on. You want it dark so you can see out the windows, you can see your consoles. You don't want light reflecting off all your screens and everything. And so there's reasons for it. And that, and that, because you see later on when the ship's crashed and it's on the ground and they're sitting there trying to work out what to do next, the lights are actually up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it just feels more lived in and real.
It's sort of the strike sequence does seem a little bit over the top, though. I mean, you've really got to make sure you want to blow up your ship if you're going to go for all that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it isn't like the Enterprise where just a couple of badly
Code 1, 2B,
yeah.
3.
Yeah, exactly. Where a couple of misheard things in Siri will suddenly blow your ship up in fire. I mean, the Enterprise is literally, you need 3 people to say things like 1, 1, Alpha, 1, Alpha. And it's like, okay, so let's just hope that we're not going to Sector 1, Room 1, Alpha 1, because otherwise we've just set the fucking self-destruct off.
It must be going off all the time.
Exactly. It must be.
There used to be a computer game called, I think it was Bridge Simulator. It was just like this walk around the bridge of various starship things. I had it when I was a kid, and there was the Voyager bridge there, and you could walk around to like Janeway's chair and all this, and on the panel was a button. If you pushed a button, it would blow up the ship. I had hours of fun with that. But I like to think that to blow up the Voyager, there was just a single button on the armrest, and it's just like you lean on it the wrong way with a cup of coffee, and boom.
Yeah. Or as Jack Woodgate put it, the password for the self-destruct is 1111. So, but yeah. So for me, the Nostromo from Alien, absolutely perfecto. I wouldn't want to necessarily live on it, but I really appreciate it as
God, no. Even if aliens weren't going to come and rape your face, I wouldn't want to be on one Nostromo.
Well, that's the good thing that Ridley Scott did. He built this thing that you knew it was work. They were there working.
Mm-hmm.
That was their job. They're not there for a voyage or a fantastic ride or anything like that. They've gone out, done a job, and they're coming home.
Yeah.
And you know that's where they were. They still need to repair. They need to make repairs on this. They need to make changes. But they're not there because they love it.
Mm.
Whereas sometimes you do get, like the Enterprise, you think that people want to be there because they want to be part of that. It's like being part of an aircraft carrier. They're proud of being part of that, and they kind of miss it when they go home.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what Alien did, was make things more lived in. But that itself was taken from Dan O'Bannon's story, which got turned into a film called Dark Star, and the spaceship there is so run down that the entire store of toilet paper it blows up before the film has started.
Yeah.
Should have used the free seashells, man.
Yeah, and
don't you dare go there.
Yeah, let's not go with fucking seashells. But in Dark Star, the ship is actually alive, and that's it. And they sleep in the fridge. Jack's just reminded us, and basically they're actually sleeping in the fridge. They've lost their store of toilet paper, and then the ship's so run down. There's a point where one of the characters called Pinback gets stuck in the floor of a lift because there's a hole in the floor of the lift, and he presses this button to try and get himself out, and it goes, "Congratulations, you've decided to clean the lift. The explosive bolts on this lift will now detonate in 3, 2, 1. And then you suddenly notice that he comes out of the lift and he's actually got the floor still stuck around him. He's kind of walking like a sort of,
damn you, McManus!
Exactly.
Oh yes, I'd get the blame for it, wouldn't I?
Absolutely. But the point is that basically, yeah, Dark Star's ship takes that Nostromo lived-in thing to the stupid degree, but it's really quite funny.
I'll have to check that out. I'm looking at the pictures now. It's like a fake nail.
Yeah, it was made in 1975, I think. It was a student film, but it got a cinema release. But it's really worth a look, just because everything goes wrong and they end up having to argue with their own weaponry.
Jeez.
Yeah, the bombs are alive, and they've got one job. It's literally they've got one job. So the first thing is, as soon as you switch them on, they're like, right, okay, what do I have to blow up?
Sound like the spheroids in Terrorhawks.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, so you actually have to go down to the bomb bay, and actually, when this one activates by accident, you have to go down to the bomb bay and go, look, do you really want to blow us up? And he's like, well, and you have to have this kind of existential conversation with your own weaponry to stop it from just blowing itself up. So, yeah.
See, just going back to the Nostromo, I love the design of that thing. Yeah, the air intakes on there as well, so it can go down into atmospheres and stuff like that. The only trouble I've always had is actually trying to see it. I know you got the big refinery there, and it's there somewhere. I know, but I can never ever find it. It's like the escape pod from the Nostromo.
Okay. Well, I mean, how mad do you want to go with this? I mean, the refinery is like a big H shape, and if you imagine in the middle bar of the H, the Nostromo itself is about 3 millimeters long. If this thing is the size of your screen, the refinery, you're looking down at it from the top.
Hang about.
Yeah,
Google to the rescue.
Google to the rescue. I'll try and explain it anyway. Yeah. There you go. Though that's not exactly to scale, to be honest.
It's not to scale, but it tells you roughly where it is in relation.
The little white bit at the front. But that refinery, in truth, if that was the Nostromo at the correct size, that picture, the refinery would actually be like about 8 times that size.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. I knew it was big. It was just, like you say, they haven't got the lights on to display. They don't want to show where they are. They don't need to.
No.
It's just very hard to see it.
Yeah, I mean, and
it's kind of ambiguous, but it adds to the feeling of that movie. So I guess that's what they're going for.
Exactly, and you know, it's kind of goes all the way through the whole film with the fact that you only see the alien up close. You know, it's all about covering up the crap in some ways.
Yeah, less is more. The more you can leave to people's imaginations, the more you fill out the gaps and make it more impressive.
Yeah.
But as far as the way the Narcissus, the escape pod's concerned, it's actually in the base underneath of the Nostromo, and it's pointing backwards.
It's on one of the struts, isn't it?
And basically, it's actually embedded into one of the struts, and what happens is it comes down and then out, and then basically the engines for the Narcissus are actually on its nose. And what happens is it drops down out of the ship and actually fires the engines to stop itself and let the Nostromo fly overhead.
So that's slowing down.
Yeah, because that's what happens. The Narcissus just comes out and it hasn't got enough engine power to keep up with the Nostromo or overtake it. So what it does is it actually just drops down and just puts the brakes on and lets the rest of the ship fly overhead.
Because the other thing, you probably want to be along the flight path if they're going to come looking for you, so you want to be kind of stopped somewhere.
Yeah.
Which
is, do you know, I'd never even thought about that it's actually trying to stop and just let the Nostromo and the refinery go over the top of it instead of actually shooting away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes much more sense. It's a lot less energy used just to slow that thing down.
Yeah, to slow a little tiny ship down rather than speed it up past the Nostromo, which is already going at the speed of light. You know, you need bigger engines and faster ship, and you know can't turn around. So it's literally, you'd literally just have to kind of. It's better to put the brakes on and do the air braking maneuver and let everything fly off. And
because Alien is one of those films which tries to at least obey the laws of physics as we understand them.
Try.
Actually, I think I found a proper picture of the filming model here. So that's the actual refinery model and the Nostromo on the end of that.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's on its side because they're filming. They're obviously doing one of those flybys where it kind of pans overhead.
Yeah.
But so there you go. That's pretty much it.
Excellent.
The Nostromo is a fantastic ship. I mean, it's the best tug in the universe. I felt.
It is.
It's not going to score very high on firepower.
No, but the interior is awesome as well. It's of the time, but then again, it also looks space age as well. It even looks space age now. It looks kind of comfy everywhere you can lay your head.
Except when you go to the mother room.
Yeah, and it just looks like a pound shop Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But But anyway, we'll worry about that another time.
But I spent ages on Alien Isolation just walking around and walking into Mother.
It's a damn good game, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't need to play the game. You just need to go. Just need to go play that bit.
Just be on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I can't play though. He scares the shit out of me. I can't. Honestly, there's always that damn alien just dropping down. I remember I was Dallas and I walked into a room and I had a flamethrower and I saw this alien drop down from the vents and my first thing is, fuck it, let's go burn it. And I ran up to it and just sprayed it with like the flamethrower. It ran off and I thought, okay, that's done. No, that's not it. It's still there. That's not the game.
No.
Oh, that comes later.
No. Yeah. So, it's it's not.
I was saying to Lee because Lee at work's got the old Oculus setups, and he's going to be showing it to some people in the office, just getting them used to using 3D environments. And I said, once you've got them used to playing it a few times, you want to get that sound effect of the alien falling out of the air vent, and just randomly set it off in the office when the lights go out. You just clear that place, right?
Yeah, the dong 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 boom. It's like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, you know exactly.
I require new trousers.
Yeah,
Pavlov's dog.
Yes.
Yeah. Pavlov's arse reaming. It's just like, yeah. But I actually, what I should do is next time you're around, Elton, I'll let me know if you want, and come round, and I'll get the Oculus and I'll just sit you there playing that for like 10 minutes.
It'll be like your very own personal Clockwork Orange.
It'll be great. I'll actually make you into human hovercraft. You'll just.
I'm terrified at just the thought of that, knowing that I'll have that thing on my eyes, and you guys will be around me. Yeah. Just doing whatever you want to. Balloons.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
Because I also put on the noise cancelling headphones, so you get nothing but 100% sound as well.
Oh, and they do work as well, because I've tried them.
Yeah. Well, I know.
We've seen the video of you doing it.
The video of me doing it, yeah. That's bad enough. But, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, we're up to our last 2 minutes now for this hour. What we'll do, we'll take a break. We'll come back and maybe do what we've eaten on the train, or other people have eaten on the train, and some more spaceships and stuff like that. Just have a random talk and then see what we want to do. If people want to Skype in, please Skype Elton McManus, and then you can come on and throw your 2 pence into the conversation. And we'll just carry on. We'll probably be back in about 15 minutes or so, I suppose.
Or next week, if you're listening to the podcast.
Or maybe next week, yes. Depends on how it goes.
You don't have to stay on the Mixler for the entire week.
No.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Okay, right. So, guys in the chat room, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back in around about 15 or so minutes. I'm going to make myself a nice brew. And, we'll be back for some more spaceships and eating on train action.
I think you're going to like the eating on train. I've got some crackers.
I've got a good one.
Boom. Dad joke. Never fails.
Oh, he's back again. Christ. Right, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye.
A new hamster in the treadmill. Apparently, we need that. Jack, thanks very much. I think Jack's offering to be the hamster in the wheel.
I don't think the hamster survived the crash of the Enterprise D, if I'm honest.
Wait! I have to press record and everything.
I'm already recording.
I know, but I haven't pressed the record on the backup yet and then introduced or anything like that. Jesus Christ, give me a bloody heart attack. Right, you bastards ready?
Yeah, I might go.
That's good enough. Hello everyone, welcome to Shonky Lab. Yes, we're back again. I'm Elton, and this week I am joined by Mr. Lee Medcoff.
Woohoo! Hello.
And Mr. Andy Plastides.
I will end you, McManus. You will beg for mercy by the time I am finished with you. You will rue the day that you brought that up. Start ruining. Start ruining.
I am ruining away.
Good.
Oh, what an eccentric performance.
We're here all night.
Yeah.
How are you, chaps? We're here to talk about spaceships and stuff.
We are.
I thought we were talking about stuff we got on the trains. I've got no notes in front of me about spaceships. Oh, God.
But you've got a massive list of what you've eaten on the train.
Well, yeah, I did my research sort of thing, you know. I spent hours.
Yeah.
I can't maintain that fiction.
I'm fine. First off, yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
And I did actually on the train, and we put them up.
If the Orion actually makes it to Mars, we'll also have a real one we can do at that point.
Well, yeah. So, but that kind of assumes that we'll be doing the podcast in like 10 years' time, which is.
And that assumes it's going to be ready in 10 years. So, yeah, there's a lot of assumptions to be made there.
Somewhat unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a daunting prospect, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's bad enough trying to keep the Black Dog going for 10 years. I don't think I have to do that with Space Dog, to be honest.
There is a pension with the Black Dog, isn't there?
There's pensioners.
Oh, pensioners. That's I read it wrong. Nuts.
That's just
most of them for Mr. Diamond, I believe.
Yeah. Exactly.
And he's Hyreme.
Yeah.
So where can people find Space Doc Jury?
They can find it on Geek Planet Online, spacedoc.geekplanetonline.com, and on iTunes. And
the Book of Face.
And the Book of Face, yeah. Facebook.com/groups/SpaceDocJury. And then also on Twitter, which I've mistakenly got back into because Twitter's just like, ugh.
You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy?
I wasn't going to go there, but actually, yes. There you go. So, Jack Woodgate apparently has a picture of one of our recording sessions, which I think is probably just going to be a load of people punching each other up. But
I thought it was going to be the dogs are playing poker around the table. Well, let's see which way he goes with this.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Elton. Carry on.
That's fine. So, how did this cast? Well, you've already said that it's just normally you guys talking in a pub, getting rather drunk and shouting at each other, saying, "No, this is better. No, this is better." But how did that actually come about, and then join into, and then who said, "Oh, okay, right. How about we turn this into something that people we could inflict on people, and they might actually listen."
Inflict people, I like that. Yeah, it was. Was it me or was
it? It goes back. So before there was Space Doc Jury, I had an idea which I was
on the way down tonight. I actually sat and thought, you know what? I better
ate something just so you had something to talk about.
I ate a bag of crisps, and then I thought that's me covered.
It's dedication, that is.
That's homework.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah.
No, I made a list. I made a list of the things that I think are at least worthy of a conversation.
Tuesday, I had a sausage roll, and on Wednesday, I had some prawn cocktail crisps.
Yeah. But not cheese and onion because that's antisocial. Anyway.
Anyway, yes. So I think I better introduce this again. Not straight again, but I think I know what I mean. Yes, we're here to talk about spaceships and what have you eaten on a train? Or what have you seen other people eat on a train, maybe? Are you that person that eats the pickled onions on the train? Are you the person that has the egg sandwich on the train? You get. I hate you. Yeah, we're going live on Mixlr at the moment, which is mixlr.com/Rogue2Media. Yep. And you can join in on the chat room, which we have here. And you can also call us in and talk about either spaceships or what have you eaten on a train. Oh, this is so exciting. Yes, if you want to call in on Skype, it's Elton McManus, all one word. And I will join you once you're connected. Then we'll wait for a little space to appear, and then we'll carry on.
Yeah.
So
I can see on Mixlr on the chat. I can see Brian Legate, and I can see Jack Woodgate and Chris Johnson and Doreen's out there, and So
that bloody Lee Medcalf there again. I mean, he's always trouble. He is.
That arsehole Andy Plastic Knees is on there as well.
Tell me about it. You know, he's a twat.
Anyway, so I'm going to be chatting as well on there.
No, you go for it. You go for it. I'm terrible at that. Even though I love the idea of it, I'm still terrible at it.
I'm like Uhura on the Enterprise. I'm just sitting in the background with a thing sticking out my ear and conversing with everyone.
Look, for the last time, Lee, you are not wearing your short dress on the casts, okay? Look, I'm not having it. That's the line right there.
You say that, but you got no way of stopping me, and I'm in my special pants.
Spoke to Lee about work, because there's certain things in a couple of science fiction films, specifically Galactica and Generations, that really piss me off, where they do something really stupid for the sake of the plot. And I said to Lee, I want to do a podcast where I can rant about things like the Pegasus getting blown up, because that made no sense at all. And then Lee went off. We came up with some ideas, and then Lee went off later on. And he goes, "Why don't we simplify it a little bit?" And he came back a few months later, and then all of a sudden it was just like, "How about we just do about spaceships?"
Yeah,
and that was it in a nutshell.
We had a little trial run where at someone's birthday party, we were all sitting in the Imperial, and there was just us three sitting on one end of the table, and it just got into this. Well, what Enterprise would you pick? Just threw it out there, and all three of us came back with a different conversation, and then a different one, and
then we had to prove why the other person was wrong.
Yeah,
because they were wrong.
Yeah. And it was just at that point when it turned into a massive argument. I just thought that's a podcast right there.
Lee awoke in the intensive care sometime later with a report. But wait,
with a plastic Enterprise sticking out of my arse, and then I thought, there you go, we've got a winning formula.
Yeah, because I have to admit, I can't think of three better people to talk about spaceships. Because I listen to you guys, and I think, I don't think I can join in on this. All I'd do, I'd be standing around in the conversation like I normally do when I've joined in on these conversations, and just stand there with my pint in my hand, nod, yeah, I'm right, and then occasionally throw in a grenade of utter bullshit that just riles people up.
The last time we threw a grenade into the cast, me and Lee very nearly didn't talk again for a week after that. So
that was one of those kind of geek rage moments. But Brian Legate says your conversational style of throwing in a grenade is pretty much like being on the Black Dog, then, Elton.
Yeah, I suppose it is, really. I just can't help myself. It's pretty much me at meetings as well. So don't ever work with me.
Just throw the cat amongst the piece.
As long as it's not your bloody onesie again.
Yeah.
Skin tight onesie.
Skin tight onesie. Oh yeah. Anyway, sorry, derailing it, Elton.
No, that's fine.
We're losing people from the chat rapidly.
Yeah, we just gained Jim. We gained a Jim.
Nice.
A wild Jim Moon has appeared.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right. I'm going to get this back on the tracks, you bastards. We're here, as we all know, talk about spaceships. You guys do a spaceships. Would you call it a spaceships podcast, or would you call it a spacecraft talky thingamajiggy? Or how would you describe it? What that show that you do with the Rev Org and stuff?
I'd call it some sort of war crime, to be honest.
Yeah. We do a podcast called Space Doc Jury, and essentially it's like a cross between Top Trumps and Top Gear, but with spaceships
and less misogyny.
Less misogyny and racism. But basically it is just like it's an extension of the conversation that the three of us tend to have when we're in a pub.
Yes.
Oh, and I've seen them conversations.
Yeah,
You've partaken in those conversations, sir.
Yeah. And normally what happens is we usually end up clearing the pub because everyone just kind of slowly moves away from us. So we thought, well, we've got that power. Surely there must be other people out there who would like to join in those kind of conversations.
We thought we'd save mankind by driving people off the internet. We thought, people need to get outside, fresh air, talk to each other. So we thought we'd put a podcast out which would force people to run away from technology.
Yeah. Though Chris Johnson has just noted on Mixler chat that he'd call it a pissed up fight that we'd have normally every week.
It is, just without the punching.
Oh, you say that?
Yeah, you say
you don't hear the bits that get cut out.
But yeah, so our cast is basically doing spaceships from film, TV, books, video games,
comics,
you name it.